Hi guys, this is Sumit and welcome back to Knowledge Modulation's new video. In this video, we're going to see what is Ansible Playbook and how they written or their key aspects or key points and everything related to the playbook. Now, without wasting time, let's continue to our video. Ansible Playbook. One question comes in mind, what is this Ansible playbook or what are their uses? So lots of questions comes in mind, so we'll see so many questions or so many doubts or the concepts or the key points related to the playbooks. We'll start with the what is Ansible playbook. I will read first its technical definition. An Ansible playbook is a file where users write Ansible code, an organized collections of scripts defining the work of a server configuration. They describe a set of steps in a general IT process or a policy for your remote system to enforce. We'll see meaning of this definition or what this definition is saying. Playbook is a file where users write Ansible code, an organized collection of scripts defining the work of the server configuration. As you already know, the Ansible is configuration management tool. Now configuration management is nothing but when we are going to deploy any servers. Suppose one scenario I will just explain you. We have auto incremented server and at that time we have to increment our servers or suppose we have 15 servers and we have to deploy the same configuration as we already have ongoing servers. So at that time if we have the playbooks and or in simple manner, if we return some codes and same codes we are going to deploy, then it is very easy to just get the mirror copy of our servers, because whatever operations we have performed on our older server, the same operation we are going to perform on the new server. So it is like the mirror or the replica of old server. By this way we can consider that if we are already written a playbook, then this playbook we can deploy to the any server and we can configure our server as we required. So this playbook is nothing but a simple script which we can design or we can write and we can configure any servers. This is a set of instruction, we can say in the simple manner. Ansible playbooks offer a repeatable, reusable, simple configuration management and multi-machine deployment system, one that is well suited to deploying complex applications. Now, what do you mean by repeatable, reusable, simple configuration management? Suppose there is a one index file and we have to make some changes, and already our server has or our site has running on 100 or 200 servers. So 100 or 200 servers are running and we have to make changes on that server, like we have to update that file. So simultaneously we have to update on this number of servers. So how it is possible? So at that time if we run any command or by using this Ansible we can run a single command, but there are sometimes we have to run multiple commands. So playbooks comes in scenario, and in playbook we can write those commands or we can write those command in terms of script in YAML format, and we can simply push these playbooks to the servers and simultaneously we can configure all these servers. If you have 100 servers or the thousands of servers, doesn't matter. Repeatable, reusable means if we configured 100 servers right now and in future we have to configure 100 more servers, then same configuration file we can run and we can configure our servers, multi-machine deployment system, in single click. Now the second questions comes in mind, Ansible playbooks used for. In previous videos we already worked with the ad hoc commands. So if we have ad hoc commands, then why should we go for this playbooks? Suppose if you are running only one single command, then you can use ad hoc commands. But suppose I have to deploy web server, Apache web server. In that case, we have to first update our system, then upgrade our system. We have to build the repos. We have to check the dependencies. Then we have to install our Apache server. Then it has to be started. So we have to give the command like systemctl start httpd, then enable httpd. After that we have to install the PHP. Then every time we can't hit commands, we just need a simple script which will run all these commands for us. That's why we use the playbooks in Ansible. Ansible playbooks run multiple tasks, assign roles, and define configuration, deployment steps, and variables. If you are using multiple servers, Ansible playbooks organize the steps between the assembled machines or servers and get them organized and running in the way the users need them to. As like I say, whatever commands or whatever procedure you will write in that playbooks, the playbooks or the Ansible will execute all the tasks periodically or step by step. So we just have to configure or write the playbook properly. We have to mention all the commands stepwise so that it will perform that particular operations. Consider playbooks as the equivalent of instruction manuals. As I told you, there are so many commands like we have to update the system, upgrade the systems, then repose and all the systems. So suppose there is one software architecture who is developing a software. So before developing a software, he needs to architect that software so that team will work on it. So he just made guidelines how they have to develop this application. So in same scenario, we are going to configure server here by using Ansible and are going to make some changes on our server, and playbooks help us like a manual because we return so many instructions inside the playbooks, and Ansible is executing that instructions, so we can consider it is the instruction manuals to configure our servers. Another question is what kind of variables do Ansible playbooks have? In last slide, we just heard word variables. So what are these variables and why they came here? They just used by the playbooks to make our tasks simpler. Because if you are familiar with any coding language like C, C++, Java, Python, or anyone, then you may know about these variables. So by using variables, we can easier our task of writing playbooks. Ansible uses variables to help users deal with the difference between systems, as no two systems are preciously alike. Variable names consist of letters, numbers, and underscores, though they should always begin with a letter. Also, variables never contain blank spaces. So, how variables are used in Ansible? So, how we can use them in our playbooks? If you know any development language, or then you can easily use these variables and you can write a good script in playbook. You can define variables directly in playbooks by using the vars command. Variables can be anything from proper noun, ports to web servers, or a given command. Variables store values and you can create almost any kind of variables you need. There are group and host variables, inventory file variables, array variables, directory variables, and special variables. Special variables are built-in variables that can't be set by the user, and Ansible always overrides them. It means it comes with the predefined structure. You can also keep variables in separate file, and when you needed import it with the vars underscore files command. These are some guidelines to use the variables. If you actually starts building the or the writing the playbooks, then these things you should know, or you have to learn the YAML in simple format because all these playbooks are in YAML format. So while writing the playbooks, you need to just understand what are the variables and the YAML format. There are some Ansible playbook examples like 3 dash, or we can say 3 hyphens in programming language. So whenever you are going to write any playbooks or any YAML file, then this file should be start with 3 hyphens. It's standard format. Then host is nothing but something like your web servers or the group of your web servers or any types of servers. If you watched the previous videos, then while configuring the servers, we just write the host file, and inside that host file we have mentioned the IP addresses or DNS of the our servers, and we group them together and gave them a suitable name. So these are the nothing but the web servers or the host names. Then serial 5. Here we can mention how many systems or maximum system we can configure at a time, or we can make the changes at a time. We can define, otherwise we can just push these packages to all of our group. So inside that group, if there are n number of systems, then it will directly affect to the n number of systems. Then roles, then common, web app, host, again common, content. So these are the some examples of writing playbooks. In first host, there is host name is web server, and inside that web server there are five machines, or the this will deploy on 5 machines at the time. Then we can define role with whether it is root or admin, whatever it may be. Then common. Then again, what is the web application name or web server name, like that we can simply define it. Now, how to write an Ansible playbook? playbooks begins with three hyphens, as I told you. Three hyphens are mandatory. Then host is nothing but the your server group. Then variables, which defines or which will perform the actions on your depends on your commands. Then tasks, which tasks you have to perform, whether you want to deploy any application or you have to upload the file or whatever it may be, whatever job you wanted to done on that particular server, it should be mentioned in the task. Then you have to end the Ansible file or the playbook file. So as we started with the three hyphens, we have to end with the three periods, that is three dots. So this is simple format of the playbooks. You have to write playbook in this format. I will show you one Ansible file or one playbook file at the end of the video. Now some useful pointers to remember when working with Ansible playbooks. So while writing the playbooks, we have to understand some basic things, or we have to take care of these things. Playbooks are written in YAML format and have a .yml file extension. Every YAML file has .yml file extension. So if you write any playbooks, then don't forget to name it as a name.yml. Suppose you want to push this playbook to the server, then you can just simply hit command ansible-playbook and then your playbook name.yml, obviously. Then another one important command is, if you write the playbooks, then you need to check the code. So check the errors inside your playbook file. You have to run one command, ansible-playbook, then playbook name.yml, and then space hyphen syntax hyphen check. It will check errors for you inside that playbook file. Then create list define elements within playbook variables. So use the hyphen symbol to create a list. Then one more thing, name your tasks. Whatever task you are generating inside that YML file or the playbook, you just have to write the simple name. It is optional obviously, but it is very handy because every time if you open the playbook, then inside that, if you define these commands are used for web server deployment playbook, you have to mention that this command is to update the system, this command is, or these tasks will install the Apache, this task will install the PHP, like that. So this is very handy, and you should follow these rules. Here you can see this name is playbook, then host is web server name. This name is nothing but the name of the playbook. Then second one is host web server. This is the host group name. I already told you in a host file we have written one host group. So this is the host group. Then become yes is nothing but the sudo access, sudo or run as a different user settings. So we have to mention yes if you want to run this command as a sudo, or become root. Then name ensure Apache is the latest version. Then yum is nothing but installer. Name httpd state latest is nothing but the this command states that install the httpd latest version. Yum install httpd. Then again Apache is running, we have to check Apache is running or not. Then we have to give another command. Services is nothing but our one of command, then httpd, and started. State is started, or we can keep as a present as well. So it will start httpd server for us. So this is basic type of playbook you can write by yourself. So guys, this is it for now. I hope you like this video, and this video is very important, very helpful, very knowledgeable. So please guys, watch this video carefully again if you are not understanding something, and then also if you are not getting something, then please you can comment in comment box, or you can reach to me via Facebook or the Instagram, which links are already in description box. So like this video, share this video with your friends as well, and if you are not yet subscribed to the Knowledge Modulation my channel, then please guys subscribe to the channel Knowledge Modulation, and we'll bring such knowledgeable videos in future as well. So keep supporting, and thanks for watching this video. Thank you so much.